listening now. I can hear buffalo all around them. So they've picked their spot well, but they're going to struggle to pick off one vulnerable calf. The herd will have to make a mistake. Lioness in the background. Not all that. Oh, the other one's moving now. They are looking hungry. Empty bellied. We've seen them do this before, just by sheer determination. She's stalking through, she's watching, she's thinking about going for him. She's just disappeared right into that drainage line. Just saw her tail disappearing. Apparently these lions have been doing this all morning. Looks like amber eyes to me. Okay, she's gonna follow on with the rest of the group. This reminded me very much of that hunt that we had not all that long ago, where the Nkuhumas chased the buffalo up from the Djuma dam. I heard very funny noises, and then I realized it was a guest on one of the other vehicles coughing on the other side of the drainage line. Copy. And while we try and sneak through here, Anna Marie, you were wondering about the lioness that's just had her cubs and whether or not she will hunt on her own. And the answer is, you okay back there, Vian? Oh, that VR rig. Should be fine. Sorry, Anna Marie. We'll get back to you in a moment. I'm just trying to concentrate on getting through and making space for Doug. Nkuhuma lions, and they're spread all around us. And since this isn't the best position, I can hear the buffalo moving. Anna Marie, I haven't forgotten about your question. But at the moment, all we can see of the lions is their whiskers. Grumbling of buffalo. Anna Marie, the lioness that has just had her cubs will hunt. She'll be more than capable of hunting for herself. But if the rest of the pride goes close to that area, then she will actually come and join them if they have a kill and they move back to her cubs. She's got about a 6-week period in which she's going to be moving between the den site and then back to the rest of the pride before she introduces her cubs to the rest of the group. The other lioness is lying up in the quarry thicket not too far away. I just don't want to put my vehicle between the lionesses I want to put it in between their eye line because, as you know, there's a great level of coordination between the rest of the way in which lions hunt and the way in which they coordinate their hunts. This could go on for hours though. This could well go on for hours without any result. Of injuries there around her eyes. So one Nkuhuma is denning, one is mating with one of the Birmingham boys. There's at least 2 Birmingham boys with the Styx females on to the south of Hoffman's on vessels. So we're doing quite well of keeping track of the various lions out here. I actually can't really find a place. Oh, there's the lioness. She's just got up, the other 2 are going to follow. She's stalking again. I wonder if that's the sub-adult. I've noticed a lot with this pride and with other lions that the sub-adult usually initiates the hunt. Hard to tell. Imagine how the buffalo feel. There's safety in numbers, but they've been harassed for hours on end. That constant risk of something racing out of the bushes to grab them. Imagine how scary it must be. The other lionesses still not up just yet, but they will be soon. Smell buffalo everywhere. Oh, there we go. One is up. The progress of the other female. Justin, you were wondering if lions are able to see in colour. Look at that stalk. Very rapid forward movement. The answer is yes, they can to an extent, not nearly as well as we can. Their colour vision is very, very limited, but they can see a little bit of colour. There we go, there goes the 3rd lioness. We can follow behind her in a moment. I'm getting to the edge of a very tricky drainage line, which is good for them. They might well decide to box the buffalo into a corner around that very steep drainage line wall. Let's reposition now while we have the chance. still there. Still around. Let's go forward a bit. There we go, they're running. There they go. She's going for that one. Oh, and over. It was a very good try. But she just didn't quite manage to get there in time. The lion is very careful about the way in which... Oh, that was very exciting. Lion is really careful not to waste her energy engaging in a pounce that isn't going to work, isn't going to follow through, especially without the other lions around her. Now we could see, are the buffalo going to come back and chase this lioness? They're all around Red Dam. There she... And now, that could well all be part of the lioness's game. She scared the buffalo. They're panicking. And that panic in turn is what's going to work to her advantage, or could well work to her advantage. So they're going to just keep pushing them until the buffalo make a mistake. And then that's going to be the moment when they can actually strike. I don't know where the other two are. And they went down into the drainage line. I can't see them either. VM's helping me keep an eye on them. There comes the lioness back in, and time to regroup and replan. Okay. Just thinking about what's going to be the best way. We need to get down to Red Dam. There are other people that will want to come into this sighting, but we're going to try and stay for as long as possible before it's time for us to leave. We've got a good chance here that those lions are going to catch something. There's one lying down. The female that initiated the hunt. This is an incredible scene all this morning. Panicked buffalo everywhere, and the lions just patiently waiting their turn. Well, the action has died down for now. Oh, hold on, there's a female that's up now. She's also watching. I'm just going to stay here for one moment. While we reposition, we're going to take a moment to get ourselves in the best possible place to watch what's going to happen with these lionesses. While we do, it seems as though Brent is up and running for the moment, so I'm going to send you onto the back of his vehicle, but I promise you as soon as anything happens, he'll be back with us very quickly.
We're back and hopefully we're not going to disappear again. Eugene did some magic in the back, and we're out. So exciting lion hunt with Nkuhumas. I'm a little jealous, I won't lie, but we're going to continue on, see what else is out here. I am keeping my ear peeled to the eastern channel, see if there's any sign of Karula heading back towards us. But it's one of those funny days. I'm not sure whether it's going to clear nicely or the cloud's going to come in again. But regardless, at least we know the Nkuhuma ladies are around. We must have crossed right up at the gate last night because there were no tracks all around this area. They do apologize. There have been gremlins about. Sorry guys, I've got lots of radios here. Standing by.
Right, with a view of anywhere, in the end, this must be Karula. And yeah, but she was somewhere deep inside with the. So I'm gonna see where my colleague is, and then otherwise I'll go inside.
Really exciting news. It sounds like there's just been a visual of Karula crossing into our area. Copy, thanks Andrew. Yeah, I'm gonna come into that area and give you a hand. Vuya's access at the moment. Junction and Impala Road. Okay, so it sounds like they've just had a visual of Karula crossing around Twin Dams. So we're going to go have a look, see if we can find those tracks, and hopefully we'll find the Queen of Djuma. So I think it was Bob who was wondering, why do a lot of the trees and bushes... Oh, cancel that, across to Jamie with lions on the hunt.
Oh, not much has changed here. The lioness is still stalking in the drainage line, and a buffalo bull watching them intently on the other side of it. The other side of this river system. We've got an age-old battle here of two ancient enemies. And buffalo are still mooing in distress. It's a very big buffalo for that lion to think about tackling. But he could well decide to chase her. I don't think he's going to. He's got the safety of the whole... Oh, something's happening on that side. We're going to leave this lioness for now. Vehicles don't generally race off. I think he's just gone through the dam. Okay, no, that's alright. I think that was just a race to get from the other side of the mud. But we've actually got a better vantage point from here. That lioness is not going to tackle that buffalo bull. There's one at the water's edge. Oh, everybody duck. Yeah. Oh, back there. Cool. There we go. She can hear the other buffalo calling, mooing. See just how interested she really is in a little face, or Amber Eyes' face, poking out from behind a termite mound. I've lost track of where the third lioness is. see how interested they are in those buffalo. They've been working hard this morning, and their work is by no means over. Look at that half trot, taking advantage of and moments inattention for a buffalo. She's going up over the wall. Let's go forward just one little bit. Get that branch out of Liam's way. No. Now I'll put a bigger one in your way. And now Rusty won't go into reverse. Clever, using the dam wall as cover. So it made her brave enough to race forward like that.
Amber's now drinking.
Okay. Amber Eyes has now gone back to drink. I'm going to stay with this lioness, just because I think there's a greater chance that something could happen. She might launch another attack like she did before. Again, she needs the support of the rest of the pride. She's been left somewhat in the lurch. But these lionesses know what they're doing. And it could well be she's looking for an opportunity to chase the buffalo back towards the other two. Oh, there's nothing like a lion poised and coiled like that. You just know that they're going to explode at any moment. Here she goes, slinking over the dam wall. I'm going to try and stay high as much as possible. Let's go back to Amber Eyes quickly. We'll hear if anything changes from her side. There we go. She's going to make her way. I have to try and stay up as high as possible.
All three of them.
All three of them coming. We may well not have signal. There was a place, there was a way around here, I'm sure there was. Lioness following intently what's happening. We're going to have, there's the other lioness in front of me. There's a buffalo off to the right. Okay, so just to paint the picture for you, two lionesses are moving behind. The one that went across the dam wall, I can still see. She's just in front of me. And the buffalo have sort of settled in a really dense patch of vegetation and a really tricky spot in terms of drainage lines as well. Either way, this view is going to be really, really tricky. But these lionesses are hungry and they don't have endless amounts of strength available to them. They're going to have to, in the next few hours, they're going to have to really do a serious push to catch these buffalo if they're going to be successful today. There we go, showing a little bit more patience. buffalo grunting away at each other. Lioness moving to catch up. She's slinking forward. I think our best view, our best bet is going to be to try and stay high. There goes one of the females making her way in. We're not going to have any choice if they decide to rush further on. We're going to have to go down and around, so there's a chance that you could lose our signal. And we try and stay up on the crest for now, but the lions are going to push further towards those buffalo. Whee! Quick trip around Red Dam. While we loop around to get to these lions, back across to Brent, and we'll see you very shortly.
So we're in the area where Karula was spotted coming across. So they spotted her from the east, and she's come in to this area here somewhere. So we're going very, very carefully and very quietly. I'm hoping we might hear some alarm calls. There's some kuru that we've just passed. And just trying to check for tracks as well. Alright, it's a bulldozer, I heard. I thought it was an alarm call, but it's a bulldozer moving rocks. So there's a big Balanites tree on the southern boundary, and she was heading northwest, which is this area here. Checking for tracks there, Jean-Andrea.
Never know. Okay, I'll try that and turn around again.
So the Balanites is about there. So this is the area she should be popping out in, theoretically. But we all know our queen. She likes to zig and zag. So what we're doing is we're looking on top of the termite mounds, also on any major game path that might be coming this way. Wouldn't it be nice to have a double cat morning? We're looking for leopard like this. We're looking for that little... Hello? It's quite nice because we know she's in a finite block, and it's surrounded by roads. But whether she's still deep inside or making her way through is still to be discovered.
Lions have come back across to Red Dam. Fortunately, Brent's signal not managing terribly well. I have to keep moving to get out of the way of the other vehicles as well. I've lost a lioness though. Oh, she's calling. Bit of light-hearted play there between the two before settling down for a drink. And for now, I think that spells the end of their efforts in hunting those buffalo. Still missing one female though, but there she comes. And I think that's that. They've decided that for now, catching those buffalo is going to be a very difficult task, possibly not worth the investment. Here we go. But if they can't catch a buffalo, then they might as well catch each other. Having a ball. An absolute whale of a time. You got space there, Trist? Have you got space? Cool. Awesome. A bit of light-hearted play after a very serious morning of attempting to hunt the buffalo. When in doubt, drink right in each other's space. You have the whole dam, but you have to be as close together as possible. So not a successful morning for the Nkuhuma females, but because it's still cool, the day is not yet over for them. But I think that they're exhausted now and they just want to have a drink. It's a beautiful sight. The sub-adult now almost indistinguishable from the rest of the pride. It's the one in the middle, now the one on the right, attempting to catch the older female's tail. I don't think we can really call her a sub-adult anymore. It was almost a year ago that I first saw her. And the most incredible sighting with her playing with her sister in the drainage line, not far from here at all, after they killed a buffalo in this area. She's now a year older and a year wiser. And if I had to pick a favorite, not that I have favorites of course, but if I absolutely had to pick, she would be mine. Maybe not yet decided to give up. Maybe it was just time for a quick break, some play bonding, and then back to work once again. But with a certain degree of reluctance. It's a huge herd of buffalo and it's got so many big dugger boys that will be capable of defending the rest of the group. And sometimes it's just better to find a nice pile of elephant dung and lie down in it. It's that typical head rub greeting. Oh, and then lionesses demonstrating their usual awareness of personal space. Why lie next to your pride member when you can lie basically on top of her? All an essential part of the bonds between these social cats, which is what's made them the apex predator out here, top of the food chain. A group of just 3 lionesses definitely has their work cut out for them. Oh, it's just been an exhausting day. The sub-adults come back to say, come on guys, there's buffalo there. Why aren't you helping me? Oh, she got such a fright. Very sweet. Shame, girls. Not successful today, or at least this morning. But then, of course, roughly 12% of lion kills initiated do actually result in a kill. So the odds very heavily stacked against them, particularly if they decide to tackle such a large animal as a buffalo with only 3 lionesses. Now, if they had a Birmingham boy with them, the situation would have changed completely. And there's a very good chance that they would have managed to catch that buffalo that the sub-adult caught. Oh, flopped, exhausted. We got so treated to that example of the playful nature of cats, and there's such an enjoyment to be derived from watching animals, especially wild animals, play. I think it's because it allows us to associate them more with our domestic animals, but also just because it shows a different, more light-hearted side to things. Joey, you were wondering if Cheetah ever play the way that those lions did. Yes, males in coalitions will play in that way. But it's very, very common to see it as part of the bonding between members of a lion pride. You don't really see leopards doing it after a certain age, but cheetah and male coalitions will. Here's Amber Eyes, with her dark sewed, such distinctive eye colour. She's one of the oldest members of this pride. Justin, I know you were wondering about how old Amber Eyes is. She is probably, if I had to guess, she's probably at least around 8 or 9. To me, with her canines, the condition of her teeth, the darkness of her nose, and yes, I know that's not always an accurate gauging factor, but if you combine it with all of the other things involved, I would say that yes, she is a relatively old lioness. There's 2 older lionesses, 2 younger lionesses, and then the 1 sub-adult. One of the younger lionesses is missing. And off to go and have her cubs. Margaret from Kansas, you were wondering whether or not I think that Amber Eyes is pregnant. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look at her properly. Is there a good chance that she is? Yes, she's been mating, but she was... Now I must think back, because I didn't see them, but as far as I know, she was seen mating with a male not all that long ago. So if she is pregnant, Margaret, it is very early stages of pregnancy. There's another female within this group, and it might be the one that's lying down near the sub-adult that apparently also looks quite pregnant. But I tell you what, let's change our perspective and our view slightly. will try and get a different angle on them. Although this is quite a beautiful long distance open view. But I'm just thinking maybe if we went down into the dam itself, we might have an interesting perspective. Although I think the fact that they've gone flat now might make that a bit more tricky. But it's not often we get to look at the lions from below them. Let's see. Let us experiment. And Arathusa, a new viewer, welcome to our sunrise safari. You were wondering about where is the boss of these lions, in other words, the big male lion. Oh, it's an interesting thing about lions. What's our perspective going to be like from here? It'll be a new view. Different for the moment. It's an interesting thing about lions. And I encourage you to keep on sending through your questions. It's wonderful to have you on board with us. Lion prides don't have one boss. In fact, and no one boss only stays with one lion pride. What I mean by that is that the females are completely independent. They generally actually prefer to be away from the males if they can be, because the males have a tendency to steal their food. But the Nkuhuma lionesses will protect their territory, their home range, and another pride of lions will protect lionesses, will protect theirs. And then you will get a group of males, one male or a group of males, that will be the bosses or the dominant males of an area. And they'll come and visit the prides every now and again, usually only when there's females that are ready to mate, sometimes just to steal their food. And then off they go again. And in general, lion pride, the boss is one of the females, or at least a couple of the females. They are the ones that lead the hunt. They're the ones that initiate it. I wanted to show you something in terms of the noses and what I was talking about in terms of aging the lionesses. Have a look at, if we can, the noses of both of these lionesses. There's a common fallacy that you can very accurately age a lioness by her nose. You can't. That being said, some lionesses from certain prides are genetically programmed that their noses do go darker with age. And I think that that applies to the Nkuhuma lionesses. Because there's the sub-adult at the back. She would be so kind as to look here. No, not so much. And then a slightly older lioness, but also one of the younger ones with an almost totally pink nose. And when we reposition, we'll have a moment to have a look at Amber Eyes' nose, which is almost completely pitch black. There you go. Look at that. That's one of the younger lionesses. I hear that you guys have been taking the most awesome screenshots. Isn't this a wonderful view? It's not often that we get looked down upon. Brilliant opportunity. Relaxing now after their probably relatively exhausting night. If they had caught, to finish off the conversation about the boss of the pride, if they had caught one of these buffalo, there is a distinct chance that one of the Birmingham boys, which are the dominant males in this area, would have come running through to join them and to take advantage of their hunting prowess. That being said, of course, we don't want to go too far in the opposite direction. Male lions are more than capable of hunting for themselves. Oh, look at all of those flies clustering around that injury on her face. Looks so, exhausted. Nice view of her nipples. No sign of swelling. If she is pregnant, relatively early stages. Dessert, side plate size foot suddenly emerged and plopped on her head. Okay, let's reposition now. The sun's come out in a blazing way. Oh, we've got another opportunity, very brief opportunity, to look at Amber Eyes' nipples. Didn't look like she was pregnant at all. Hello, girl. And in this kind of light, with this grass and the sky, they look like picture book lines. There's thick spines on her tongue, rasping away at the fur, trying to get rid of any ticks and other such things. Our leopard's tongue is rough, just like your domestic cat's tongue, but even more so. And their tongue's actually so well adapted to their diet that they can and do strip meat from the bone by licking like that. If they exert the right amount of pressure, the tongue doesn't just get used for cleaning, it can also be used as part of, in combination with those teeth, as part of their feeding method. And Justin, moments like this are incredible. I think for all of us as safari guides, exceptionally exciting, having witnessed a buffalo hunt like that. You were wondering what the perks and the downsides of being a safari guide are. Justin, there are so many perks, I wouldn't know where to begin. Time spent with these incredible animals, to be fortunate enough to spend time with them, is obviously the most clear one. To be in a position where you are constantly learning is another. And just being in the bush in general, away from the city life and all of its trappings, and as well as all of its noise, is certainly an advantage. There's a lot more of almost realism to be found here, even if it is an escape of its own, in its own way. Disadvantages? I mean, those are just a couple of the perks. There are so many, I wouldn't know where to start in terms of naming them. A safari guide for a lodge, rather than necessarily what it is that we do, which is slightly different. Big thing to remember about being a safari guide is that it is a people-person job. It's not about the animals in the bush. You will spend 90% of your time, work time, dealing with people, be they guests or other staff members. So it's not a place to come if you think you want to escape dealing with people. Your responsibility is to your guests, whether it be taking them on game drive or hosting them throughout dinner. It's a very intense living situation. You live and you work and you socialize with the same people day after day, which is wonderful if you're as fortunate as we are in terms of having a fantastic team. But it does mean that you are very much confined. So everything seems to be more intense than it necessarily is. Little disagreements and little frustrations. Well, that's the most honest answer I can give you, Justin. There's other things. There's sadness watching things go wrong in the animal kingdom, particularly as a result of human actions. That is always terribly frustrating and difficult to deal with, especially because as a safari guide, you find you have very little power to change such things. Nkuhuma's having a really jolly good clean. And I think we've enjoyed our perspective from here. Oh. doing a little bit of yoga. No, she's definitely not pregnant. Oh, and there's some allo grooming between the females as well. And of course, some brilliant work from VM. Some of you, oh wow, that's a very cool shot. That's awesome. Tristan in the background. But yes, the person who is responsible for bringing you these incredible images is VM this morning, the wildebeest. His camera work is always exceptional, and today is no exception. Flopped back again. Nancy G, you were watching them clean and preen each other. You were wondering if lions get hairballs like domestic cats do. Yes, they do. And they've got the added disadvantage in terms of their hairballs of also getting little shards of bone and hoof that they also have to cough up in those situations. Plus, it's not just the hair that they lick from themselves, but also the hair that they lick from their prey that causes those boluses that they then have to cough up. You very often will see a lioness munching away on the grass, trying to bring up a hairball or something similar, or make her stomach feel a little bit better. Oh, quick scratch behind the ear. And I think that these ladies are planning this for the rest of their morning. Oh, I stand corrected. She chose her moment well there. Are you guys going back to the hunt? What are your plans? Well, there we go. I'm not sure if they've just moved across into the shade or if they've headed back to carry on hunting. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, there she goes as well. Bit of dirt around her neck. Oh, there's something really nice for you. Sorry, just before we disappear off and follow those lines, I don't think there's any major urgency. Just have a look at the tracks there in the mud. They look absolutely enormous from where they came down to drink. Tristan, are those Ngalo Lalapanzi there, or are they going across the dam wall? Okay, let's just chat to Tristan quickly and we'll figure out whether we need to go around or whether we need to come back to where he is. Not really space for more than one person to squeeze past here. Okay, while we reposition, get another view on those lionesses. It seems as though Brent has picture, so we'll send you back over to him.
So we're back. We're not sure for how long, but we're still on the search for Queen Peruda. I think she's going to pop out somewhere here. I had a quick walk into the block and I saw some warthogs sprinting away from this general area, so I'm hoping that maybe they spotted her. So we're just checking very carefully around here. You can see we're on the edge of a little river system, and it's a river system she favors quite a bit. Come on, Queen Karula. Grace us with your presence. Well, at least we know she's definitely in Djuma. Someone actually physically saw her cross into Djuma. So that is a good start. But there is this myriad of little river systems here that can be quite challenging. I'd even take a rosette about now, just one rosette through the bushes. I'm going to stop and listen for a second and show you how beautiful that false marula is that's changing colors at the moment. You see the yellow and green. You can see, look at that. Lovely colors. Now we're listening for not only mammal alarm calls, but bird alarm calls. Birds are excellent at helping us find leopards. But alas, not a sound, not a peep apart from a crested francolin just falling normally. Okay, well, quickly back to Jamie. She's going to give you one last view of the lions before she makes space for another game drive vehicle.
Promises to be one last relatively spectacular view of our lions as Amber Eyes walks right past the car. Just keep watching as the lionesses move past us. Oh, and she's going to lie down right in front of us. The others coming along to the side, surrounded by lions, lionesses, one lying down in front, one standing off to her left, and another one's coming in from the right now. Here she comes, and Emmy, tuck around. She's going to move a bit further into the shade. As you can see, it's a half sunny, half cloudy day. Absolutely perfect weather for watching lions. She's not really going anywhere at present. Quite happy to sit right in front of the car. You can see how close she is to us.
Very popular.
Right. Busy giving herself a little bit of a clean up she gets, and she's moving to join the rest of them. And I think this is where they plan on spending the rest of their day, disappearing off to find some shade. And that is that for our lion sighting. We're going to leave them be for now. And say farewell to our lions as they head off into the bush to find a place to sleep. All right, I'm going to... Oh, no. Right, guys, we need to start heading back to camp. There's lots we have to get done today, so we're going to leave the lions for now And we're going to say a big thank you to all of you for joining us. It's been a fantastic morning. Got to spend time watching the Nkuhumas hunting buffalo. We'll be back here for the sunset safari this afternoon. In the meantime, have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Liam, thank you for your fantastic camera work, as well as to Rebecca and to Lou in final control. All right, bye-bye everyone. We'll catch you later.
So we're still searching for Karula. We thought we might come check around the treehouse waterhole, and all we've got here is some male impalas. So it doesn't look like she's got here, and we were really hoping to try find her before the end of the sunrise safari, but alas, she has avoided us. I'll be hot on her trail again for the sunset safari, that's for sure. Too many impalas around here. Oh, what do you think, Chandra? One last gander back behind us? Yes, I agree. One last gander back to the east of us. Okay, but we do apologize. We do know there's a lot of technical difficulties at the moment, but we are working as hard as we can to get all of those sorted. We are out in the middle of the bush, so sometimes getting a spare part is not that easy, but hopefully in the near future we'll have all of that sorted and right as rain. But we're still the eternal optimists, hoping for Karula to say goodbye. Come on, the Queen. She really does like this area here. There's a couple of big blocks with no roads in them, and she likes to hunt through the little monkey orange thickets that hold a lot of duiker and steenbok, which are her seems to be her two preferred prey species. And we've seen her all around here with kills in the trees, so I am also not only looking on the ground but looking up in the marulas. But lovely to see the Nkuhuma ladies with Jamie, and a bit of action I hear. So that must have been great. Unfortunately, no one got down to Cheetah Plains, but hopefully Jamie will be able to get there this evening. Okay, so she was last seen in this block. We just wanted to check in case she managed to sneak across towards the treehouse waterhole. We have checked this road, but there are some really hard patches. I'm quite confident she's still in here somewhere, and it is quite a big block. I did take a little walk, but alas, no luck. The ground's a bit hard after the rain. Walk into the open, please, ruler. Oh, it looks like she's going to avoid us for this sunrise safari. And another impala hiding in the trees over there. So it doesn't look like she came this way, otherwise he would have been snorting much better. But thank you again for joining us on this sunrise safari, and again apologies for the tech difficulties we've been having. We hope to have them fixed as soon as possible. But yet Jamie got a wonderful sighting of the Nkuhuma ladies trying to grab a buffalo, Very exciting stuff. I'm sure you must have all been on the edge of your game drive seats. But we will be out and about again in a few short hours for the sunset safari, and hopefully Queen Karula will be around. And we're just sitting here hoping to hear an alarm call, anything that will let us know exactly where she is. From Jandra and our point of view, even though we're a black screen,